Welcome to the Novice Sports Show, episode 14. Like I said, we've been on hiatus for the last couple of weeks, but we've noticed that the WNBA and some other outlets have obviously been listening to what we've been saying because stuff just happens to pop up the week after. Amazing. But nonetheless, like I said, we here, we back, and we about to get on the grind and do what we do. So like I said, again, this is not a sports show. We three guys who came together organically to talk about sports. So you got my man
AJ.
We got
Jay.
we got A-Dub. So one of those people who may have been listening to us is the WNBA, because again, they've been capitalizing on all the marketing as we talked about in previous episodes. But last night might have been a turning point. Like I said, we had a 1990s moment going through the lane, and you saw this hand come up behind somebody's neck and throw him to the ground. So, we're talking about Angel Reese and the body slam that was heard around the internet world. So what y'all got on that?
So she was really got her a lot of positivity in the press conference when she talked about it. It was definitely a hard foul. I mean, around the neck, slammed, but she was like, look, that's the kind of effort I want from these girls. I want this league to be this way. Like, this is the way I like to play. This is the way,
They play Be More.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's a tough league. It's a good league. We want people to watch, but I don't want people to take it easy on me because I've got a name. I'm Angel Reese, or, I'm doing commercials and I'm in photo shoots. I'm a rookie. Like, nah, let it go like with everybody else, right? Yeah, bring your A game. And the more you do that, the better it's gonna be for this league. So if you expect me to get up here and complain and say, oh, woe is me, they're fouling me too hard. Nah, I like that. Let's go.
Yeah.
And again, anything like that, it just brings it more attention, especially when it's happening to those young faces of the league, right?
Yeah.
We talked about how, there's been high level, good basketball for years in the WNBA.
Mhm.
But they just weren't able to get the views. They weren't get people,
Mhm.
they couldn't get the interest level, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But now they're figuring it out that we got this window of these hot rookies and young and all these views that they're getting. We can take advantage of that.
Mhm.
And so the fact that the basketball, it's been good basketball, it's still good basketball. Now people are more invested in it. You got the storylines, you got the individuals that people care about.
Yeah.
And so that's helping the league really take off.
Yeah, all these like sidebars that's developing the foundation.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
But you need good stories. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. That's how we communicate as people, period. I mean, I'm not going to watch a story I don't like.
Yeah.
And I think and again, we talked about this earlier in one of the other episodes, how she embraced her role as the heel. And again, my man A here loves wrestling. You got to have the baby face, as he always says. You got to have the heel. She embraced that role as the heel, and I think last night she made a pivot. So now she's gonna not become I don't know, it's the anti-hero. It did it again. So I don't know how that happened, but it did it. So like the anti-hero, and I think it may be good for the league because you always, especially until somebody becomes the face of the WNBA, you need all these other faces to carry.
Yeah.
So, and again, the stories will help. So, what did you think when you saw the slam?
So when I saw the slam, I thought it was at first I saw a fall, to be honest. From one angle, like she just fell.
Mhm.
But then the other angle did show where the girl brought her hand down against her neck and brought her down.
Mhm.
With the press conference part, I did take some interest to it. The reason I say that, I'm not saying that Angel is the first or only person that does this, but being that role model for Black girls, looking up to her,
Okay.
shows the maturity and the mindset of, hey, if you fall down, you can get back up and you can still make an impact.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of took from it as well.
Along those lines. So I was talking to some teenagers. They play both two girls, they play basketball. I think they're juniors or seniors. And I was like, hey, let me ask y'all a question. Do you pay attention to women's basketball? They said, yeah. And I said, well, tell me, who do you like, right?
Mhm.
These are two Black, young ladies. They both said, we love Angel.
Mhm.
And I was like, so tell me, what is it about Angel and what is it about like her that you're and women's basketball? They said they watch college basketball a lot more
Mhm.
because they relate to it better. They said they feel like when they watch the WNBA, they're watching their aunts
Okay.
or their moms. But when they watch college basketball, they feel like they're watching their sisters, their friends, their peers.
Okay.
Or they
Makes sense.
can-
Makes
They
sense.
can
can
see
relate,
themselves
right?
in the future. Yep.
And then they said, and this was interesting, they said, we like the way that these young players are carrying themselves. That's the way we like to dress. That's the way we like to talk. That's the
Yeah.
way they wear the stuff we like to wear.
Yeah.
The commercials and all the marketing, it's towards us.
Yeah.
And one of them actually made the comment, like, some of these old, they call them old,
Go ahead.
they need to just step aside and make room. And I was like, that's interesting because, we've been talking about that,
Mhm.
but that the only way the WNBA is going to really capitalize on this is for those players not to take a back seat, but to welcome
Them
these
in.
extra eyeballs.
Yeah.
And they're not going to say, look, it's best for the league if Caitlin wins a championship. No, they're trying to stomp them into the ground.
Right.
But they need to realize these charter flights that we're getting now.
Yeah.
We didn't get them before. And there's a reason why we're now getting this attention and why they need to take advantage of it. And it was just interesting to hear from
Yeah, from the, but
from
see,
the
that's,
teenagers.
that's a
Yeah.
good perspective, except, and that shows some of the stuff we talked about, right? Because you said back in the day, and everybody, not off topic, but the ABA had all these gimmicks to get the kids in. You got to get the kids because that's the future of the league.
Yep.
Not only that, but the storylines that they're painting are kind of interesting.
Mhm.
Because you talked about the old heads, the new heads, and I think, A said this, you know, 'cause what it looks like is because the old heads, they giving that '90s vibe.
Yeah.
They really giving, yo, you're gonna have to earn this. And the young heads are like, bring it on.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's not good versus evil, but that's the age war. You
Exactly.
got these young upstarts. You're not gonna come in here. I've been building this foundation for the last 40 years. You're not gonna come in here and change what we do. Sometimes change is necessary
Yep.
to go more to move
They
forward.
they like
And they
like
doing it.
cool. Like y'all can be quiet about certain
Yeah,
decisions and stuff like that, but we finna speak up.
yeah, yeah.
We
yeah.
finna let
'Cause
people know, the world know about the mistreatment of the sport.
Yeah, well, not the mistreatment. I wouldn't say mistreatment of their particular sport. I would say the
And the
non
injustices.
the non-capitalizations on their sport themselves.
Yes, yes.
Because,
Good one.
they've had, and speaking of that, we just told about, not told, this probably happened with this week.
Yeah.
That the Aces.
Yeah,
all
Las
got a
Vegas.
deal.
Oh, yeah,
and the,
yeah.
WNBA
Las Vegas,
didn't
yeah.
like it, and you're like, they're capitalizing.
Yep.
They have to capitalize on this moment. Because how many times can you fry a fish? The first time is really good. That second, third time you try to fry the same fish, it ain't so good.
Yep.
It tastes really greasy. Just saying. So like I said, I think these young ladies or especially especially these young ladies, the ones coming up, they know how to use marketing because they're exposed to it so early.
Yep, that college NIL
So,
stuff
yeah.
Mhm.
put them ahead of the game
Way
compared
ahead
to
of the
these other
game.
ladies.
You know.
And they all got their deals. What
Yeah.
is it? Angel is the face of some jeans line.
Yeah.
And Cameron Brink is,
Mhm.
it's again, they are doing their thing. And
Yeah.
I'm
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it
Yeah,
100%.
When do you think, and like you said, because there is an age gap
Yeah, there is.
where everybody kind of sees eye to eye or
Well,
just
So
one accord?
I don't think so. So what we're talking about, you need the storylines.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we thought it was going to be like, who's going to be the Angel to Caitlin,
Yeah.
but it might be the young versus the old, right?
Yeah.
The
See-
old way versus the new
new
way,
way.
the old
Yeah, think about
style versus the new style. That's something that could be interesting. But again, you still have to have the personalities. You still need the teams to do well. But like Las Vegas, they're sort of the super team.
Mhm.
They've got a lot of Olympians, a lot of all NBA level players, the back-to-back champions,
Mhm.
and then some of these teams that are in the WNBA, none of the teams are really young. there's some that just are less experienced.
Yeah,
But so you're not really you're never gonna get a whole team of young players.
right.
That's not gonna happen. But if Chicago, like I don't know who else is on the Chicago Sky other than Angel Reese and
Twin
Cardoza.
Towers, yeah.
And Cardoza hadn't even played yet, right?
Yeah.
So to me, and again, this is my ignorance, but Angel's sort of the face of that franchise, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, Caitlin is the face of the Fever.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of women on the Sparks, but Cameron Brink is the one that I'm sort of gravitating toward and so it's like a lot of them are already sort of taking a place as
Like that new fresher breath.
Yeah,
Like that new breath of fresh air.
exactly.
Well, you gotta have that. I mean, you have to have that. And I think it's the injection, like I said, the injection they was perfect.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you're rolling right in off of the basketball thing for the NCAA for women. Because like I said, most watched games have been in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So they have a bigger audience. And, if we go back in the day, like as we always on another episode, we said, either you were watching Tennessee winning or UConn win.
Yeah.
You get what you call it, you get tired of seeing the same people win it all the
Yep.
time, so you lose eyeballs.
Yep.
So you need some adversity, you need some controversy. And this is the perfect time because you have all these young upstarts. And again, they're not what I think really you have all these young upstarts, and what I think what's really driving it is the fact that they're not whining.
Yeah.
They're going, bring it to me. You know what? If you think I can't handle it, why don't you go ahead and do it? You can throw me to the floor, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get back up.
Yep.
I'm gonna beat you. You're not gonna intimidate me. And that's something that's always been in sports.
Yeah.
At all levels, the older guys always intimidate the younger
Yep.
guys
Yeah.
because it's a rite of passage.
Yeah, they try to do it with everybody.
They try to do it
They
everybody.
try to do it with Jordan. They
Yeah.
try
Yeah,
to do
and actually, they clothesline him. So this is a Jordan.
And
He got literally, I'm talking clothesline, feet in the air, hit the ground, got up, man.
yeah, and get back up. Yeah.
What you gonna do? You ain't gonna beat all five of us up because your team in the corner.
Right. And I want to give some props to the young girls too, because not only are you taking the marketing strategies, the other outside noise, and bringing that onto the court,
Mhm.
not saying in a negative way, but you're also playing good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because none of
Because
it
that's
matters.
tough to do.
None of it matters.
Right, if you're not playing
if
good.
you're on the bench, right?
Yeah.
Angel Reese, again, she's still gonna have her followers and her fans,
Mhm.
and they'll be mad if she's not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that she is playing
Right.
and she's playing well, that feeds into it. If the Fever start winning more games,
Yeah.
that's gonna add more to it, right?
See,
If they get stomped every game,
Right.
it's gonna take, or if she doesn't play well, it's gonna take a little bit away.
Yeah.
But if they can, keep building on it.
Yeah.
There's nothing but
Yeah, like I said, just like because I literally watched the highlights of the, moving to another athlete in the WNBA. I watched a couple games of Caitlin, and I was just like, yeah, then of course they're not getting stomped. I think one game they got stomped. They really did. They got stomped.
Demolished.
They got demolished because I looked at the score. It was like, yeah, they up by 40. They got 26 points. They got 60 points. Yeah, this game is pretty much over.
Yeah.
They don't need to watch this. So if they have games like that, yeah, that's going to be a detriment to them. But they got to have games where it's very competitive.
and
you
the
see-
the other night,
the feed,
they
was it the-
they won their first
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
see that's
She was horrible the whole game.
Yeah.
And she's kept shooting, and then she hit like 2 big threes,
Yeah.
and then they ended up pulling out the win.
Yeah.
And in the press conference, she was like, "I feel like every shot I take is gonna go in.
Yeah. John
I'm gonna
Starks.
just keep shooting them." And she was like, "I was due," and the team backed her up.
Yeah.
And so that's when who knows, they might go on a little winning
Little
streak.
run.
And then with
Right.
that, I will say as well, for props. And it's more of the outside noise saying this, but they're not as egotistical as people make them seem.
You know about the young
The young
players?
ones, yeah, they're more
Well, see-
humble
Well,
than what
I
you would
say this.
expect.
Well, you got to remember. I mean, okay, this is coming from probably my old days as an athlete. Every athlete's ego got ego.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure,
sorry.
for sure.
Every athlete got ego. It's about when they show it and when they do it. Period.
You're not big headed
Yeah,
in that light.
but anybody who's played any organized sports at any high school, college, pro, got an ego.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
still got an ego. I ain't gonna. So so for them they may not portray it, but it's there because you have to have something driving you to get you where you are.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
gonna
for
have
sure.
some type of ego. So those young ladies have egos because I guarantee you, if we stepped on the court, said we're gonna beat, they probably gonna beat us down
Well, for instance, like,
thoroughly.
and that's a great point that you made, but
Yeah.
I know for Angel, it's more of an attitude that she has about the sport and how she plays,
I would say
as
confidence.
opposed to
It's the
how
confidence.
the media has
Well,
portrayed her to be as egotistical.
See, I
Now,
think they
see-
always had her as like the hard
but,
nose, like,
but again, like we talked about that, right? When she came along at the right time,
Yeah.
when she did this, she went worldwide viral. She was officially the heel, right? And the heel can't be soft. You know, we know all heels got egos this big. You know, even we gonna switch, not switch topic, we gonna switch people. One of my favorite dudes, Ric Flair. When he was a good guy, the Nature Boy, but when he joined the Four Horsemen, oh my God, that ego exploded. Right? It did, but we all loved it. And the same thing happened to her. You know, now it's not, now they're not portraying her as I have this super ego. It's like super confidence. Right? Because the ego is bad, but the confidence is good.
Good.
and I'm gonna tell you the other thing about ego. It's not those players' ego
Yeah.
that's gonna be to the detriment. It's the other
Other
players
players, yeah.
Yeah.
who are jealous.
Yeah.
Because it would be tough.
It's the animosity a little bit.
The thing
you
about
know.
it would be tough
Yeah, we talked about
if
that.
you are a 10-year veteran,
Mm.
all-star, all NBA, all WNBA,
Making no money.
and exactly. And I come in as a rookie with 10 times the money that you have.
Accolades.
I'm gonna feel some kind of way, right? And that's
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
That's natural.
Especially if I've been fighting for those
Accolades.
things as well.
That's natural.
Yeah,
But they gotta realize those girls earned it
yeah, they
Just as
do.
much.
just as much as you tried to.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a timing thing, and you're like, man, if I'd come let's look at the NBA, right?
Mhm.
The veteran dudes, the Barkleys, the Shaqs.
KG don't make as much money as
Look
they make now.
Look at how much money those guys made as Hall of Fame all-time greats compared to your
Your role player,
your role player
your
guy.
third star.
And so you gotta feel some kind of way, which is when they are talking about it,
Mhm.
you can tell sometimes they feel some
They
kind of
feel some
way.
way, yeah.
Because they're like,
Yeah,
man,
especially if I was in a Shaq, if
Yeah.
I was in the league right now, I'll be making that. You
Yeah.
got 3 years, 100, and
yeah,
man, that's
Think about
crazy.
it, but see, okay, so that leads us into our next thing, right? So with the NBA, not only the exorbitant salaries, but okay, we talking about if you're going to command that type of money, you know what's going to happen. Somebody got to be the face of the league, right? So who's going to take up that mantle? And also, in addition to that, salaries going to go up.
Oh, they're gonna
up,
keep
and up.
going
They're
up.
going to keep going up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I hate
Yeah.
to say this, but a car today don't cost the same as a car
Exactly.
cost 20,
Exactly.
30 years ago.
And it
Because
doesn't,
if it did, I'd have the car I want.
And I have a few of them.
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the cars then might have been better built.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but
This is the way,
this
you know
is
what I'm
what it
saying?
is. I
So
mean-
you could say,
Who buying them?
well,
Yeah,
look, you
Who
could-
making them? Yeah.
you can say Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest ever.
But
Well, he just happened to come along in the 60s when you didn't make any money.
Right.
Yep.
But dude that comes along now is
or
gonna
the
make
70s.
500 million.
Think about it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I remember when Shaq got his deal. Was it 5 years, 60 million? And that was
5
a
years,
max
yeah.
contract back then. That was 1990 what? That's right, we're aging ourselves. So yes,
I wasn't around then. No.
oh yeah, I know you live forever. But yeah, I mean, it's like, so when I look at some of these numbers and I go, if you're not, I mean, these guys aren't even the face of the league,
Right.
right? So and then again, Dick, because I mean, when you're the face of the league, again, we talked about this before. There's certain things that come with that.
Right.
Money is one of them, accolades is one of them, the scrutiny,
Yeah.
clearly the eyeball is
definitely gonna
going to
come
be
with
on
it.
there. And then you're talking not only that, what else is you're going to have to lead. I mean, so when, like I said, as my man A says and Jay says, when you command that type of attention, when something happens, they're
You
going to
gotta
come to you.
educate. You gotta have to educate
Yeah,
You
yourself.
got to educate
you-
yourself on the topic, and you're going to have a what? One heck of a press conference to say X, Y, Z, blah, 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 and
And a
not
good
sound like
team
you're an
around you.
idiot. Yeah, and yeah, them egos.
And
Yeah.
see, everybody, and I've said this about certain players, everybody doesn't want that smoke.
And everybody doesn't have that as their end goal. So we get
Yeah.
it. We definitely get it.
Exactly. So, I mean, I was thinking back, like face of the league, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go back to the 50s and 60s, but if you think about like what guys have been the face of the league, there have only been a handful, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking who was the MVP,
Mm-mm.
who was the best player, who
Who was
won the most
Was the
championships,
face of the league.
face of the league, right? And again, I'm not gonna go back to this, to the civil rights era, Kareem and Russell, they were
Yeah.
the
Face of the league.
in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
But Bird and Magic,
Yep.
clearly the faces of the league, right?
Two.
It drove everybody.
Yep.
Michael Jordan
3.
carried it forever. I'm gonna say he carried it till Kobe.
Yeah, he did actually. Yep.
Kobe came in, and Kobe has one MVP, but again, it doesn't have to do with that.
Right.
It's who is the guy that if we got to come up with a poster for the NBA, who are we putting it on there,
Not
right?
like that.
Shaq, everybody loves Shaq, but I don't think he was the face of the
He
league.
wasn't that sick.
Nope. And then after Kobe,
I like that.
LeBron
LeBron took it, and honestly, LeBron
still got
still
it.
has it.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the best player anymore.
Mhm.
Been around forever,
Mhm.
but he is, and I would say arguably more than all those guys, he's taken the mantle of having the face of the league more seriously and
Yeah.
more than all of those.
Well, I think you have to.
Because none of those other guys got into politics.
Yeah. See,
Nobody else was
you have to.
asking. No, it's a different time.
Yeah, it's a different.
Right.
Yeah, there
But-
you go.
LeBron, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad because LeBron has more haters than anybody. And they say he needs to stay in his place. He needs to know his role. But
So as Cat Williams say, ain't nobody hating you. You ain't doing something right.
yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. But he's really taking that on. Like, I'm the face of this league.
Yeah.
So everything I do is scrutinized. That means I got to stay out of trouble. That means I have to be great on the field,
Right.
on the court. I have to take care of my body.
Yep.
I got to be available. I have to be knowledgeable about certain things,
Yeah.
and I have to advocate for certain things.
That goes into anything. That goes into what he drinks, what he eats, what he wears,
Yeah.
literally how
Because
he
people are
how he
always
talks.
watching.
People are always watching,
But see-
and they're always gonna have a microphone in
right
his
there.
face.
Oh, and even when it's not a mic, somebody recording.
Yeah,
hoping
and
that's
there
up.
can't be a time, he doesn't have the luxury of saying no comment
Yeah.
Right.
or saying,
No comment is.
I don't know what that means. But a lot of dudes, you come to them with a microphone, they're gonna say, pass.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna say, I'm not getting up on there. I'm not even mentioning that. So this, playoffs,
Mhm.
Anthony Edwards, right? Ant-Man.
That man's been saying the right things.
He was a guy that everybody in that series with the Nuggets, Stephen A, so many of these
big
commentators
on
were
him.
saying
Mhm.
he's the new guy. He is the face of the league.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
slow
not-
down.
not yet.
Pump your
But
brakes.
before you even get started, they try to push it last year.
Not
But
really.
no, in the sense of like, do we push it? Let's see what the reaction we get. Okay, we didn't get the reaction we want. All right, we're gonna keep it on the low.
See,
And then, like you said, the Nugget series was like, okay,
you
there's our
can't
king.
really. So look, it's more than being the best player, right?
Right.
He wasn't first team all NBA, but he got in that series and they played great against the defending champion. Went up 2-0. He played great. His press conferences were great.
Yep.
He was smiling. He did everything that you want.
And they
right?
swept Phoenix.
Yeah, but okay.
Well, look, that's 2 years in a row. So that's
Yeah.
Phoenix, sorry, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
One of those dudes that has no interest in being the face of anything.
Yeah.
He's supposed to play ball.
Yeah.
Not mad at you.
Yeah, so so with that, because of course the NBA is always looking for stories. They always are, right? Who is a potential face? Because right now, after LeBron, there really isn't anybody that we gonna say, hey, he is the face of the league, right? Because remember, Ja was gonna start that, then he had his issues. Then you got who else? You got
You throw Luca in there,
you
right?
throw
Quick.
Luka,
See what the people gonna say.
Yeah.
You throw, you're throwing all these different individuals.
Let me throw Joker in there. Let me throw Giannis in there.
Because remember, right? Remember when Jordan was on the decline? They had, and of course, everybody had Jordan fever. Everybody was, oh, that's the next Jordan. Oh, that's the next this, and none of these guys
Yep.
panned out.
Everybody was supposed to be the
Everybody's
next
supposed to be the
Jordan.
next Jordan
Yep.
until Kobe came along. And mind you, the first time I saw Kobe play, that was not the first thought in my mind because he cost me a game with the Lakers. And he was missing shots like I was shooting.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, so who do we think, potentially, because I know we mentioned Ja, we mentioned Ant-Man, we mentioned that guy in Dallas, and we mentioned that guy in the Nuggets.
So here's the thing.
But those are the
Yeah,
guys right
you're right.
now who are on that precipice who may be getting pushed.
The main guys in the
I'm
league
sorry.
right now.
We got one more guy who doesn't show up in the playoffs, and that's the man from Boston. Pretty
See, so look, the main guys in the league right now
Yeah.
aren't from this country.
They are.
yeah,
And that's a problem
Mhm.
when you have a American driven sport and you're trying to find the face of your league.
And he's
It's
in Europe.
really hard for you to say the best. Think about it. If you're
'Cause
naming off
you got Luka,
Luca, well,
Giannis,
Joker,
yeah, Luka,
Luke,
Joker,
and Giannis.
Giannis,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Embiid.
Well, he counts because now he's an American citizen.
Yeah, he signed his
But-
papers.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Because-
technically, but yes, but him, and he was in this
Wemby,
country for a long time.
Yeah, he's
Eventually, maybe
French.
Victor.
Yeah, he's French. So you look at these guys, right? They're not even American-born players.
Right.
So you go down the list before you find the first one, and that's like all NBA,
Mhm.
and that's Tatum.
Yeah.
And we've all said that he's got the look they're looking for.
The story, the background,
He's got the
Clean.
sort of the clean cut
The thing,
image.
yep.
the pretty hair.
But in the biggest moments,
Don't
he
show up.
hasn't stepped up yet. And again, not that you have to be the MVP, not you have to be the best player, but you still got to have that sort of persona. Like and that's where Ant is above him, is that at least Ant will say stuff that's interesting in press conferences. He'll interact with the crowd. Tatum's not really doing any of that. Job, when he hit his, he was dunking on everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, okay, we might have the next Allen Iverson.
It's that
and
eye
be
catching
and
stuff.
be the
Right.
face
Yeah.
of the youth
Yeah.
of
Movement.
America, right?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't gonna fly, but
Click,
so
clack.
long because
Click, clack.
and you got to be way more mainstream
Yes.
than Ja is. Ja's never gonna be mainstream. He could be the face of your generation,
Mhm.
but he's not gonna be mainstream like that.
'Cause
And then when he has all these issues off the court, then that really
it's stupid.
has
Yeah.
take him
Sometimes-
Brought him down a little bit.
No, well, sometimes you just have to, what's the word? Not try to be something you're not.
well, no, he needs to be something he's
No, I'm
not.
just saying.
If he wants to be this,
Yeah.
but we don't want him to do that. But
We don't want to fall down the wrong path.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want him to think, because from what I understand, he never really was a gangster, but he's trying to be a gangster.
right, but what I'm saying is, as far as being the face of the league,
Yeah.
being a gangster, you
You
can't.
that's not marketable.
You're done, right?
Yeah, that's not marketable.
So you look at Allen Iverson. People loved Allen Iverson,
Still do.
but once
AI.
he, really took off and became like the face of the hip hop generation of the NBA.
He was influential,
yes,
but he wouldn't be the face.
and he
Yeah.
never was going to be the face because he wasn't marketable enough
He
to
wanted
the
to make
general
masses.
the masses.
Yeah.
Mainstream.
Exactly.
Because like I said, when he had his hair braided, they didn't like it at all.
Yeah, he was too
And then he,
far to one side.
yeah, then he, of course, he would, and I think that practice video took it.
And I honestly, going back to Jason Tatum, as much as I like Jason Tatum, I don't think he can be the face of the league because he won't clarify if he's the Batman or the Robin of the team.
Depends.
Which
on-
is hard to
oh,
do.
here we go.
You have to
Yeah.
throw somebody under the
It-
bus.
It depends on what you talking regular season or playoffs?
It's just hard.
What we talking?
It's hard when you got Jalen Brown on your
Well, no, but
on the side of you.
But no, it's not hard. I mean, if you assert yourself, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you
To
could.
me, and again, I don't know the young man. I don't know the plays being called. I don't know any of this.
Right.
I just don't see that. And again, he could have a different version of a
I
dog.
don't see the mindset that
I don't see it.
from Brown that
Yeah,
he
I
can
don't
carry
see it.
over with.
I don't see it. I mean, like I said, I don't see it.
But here's the thing: you take Tatum off that team.
They don't get to where they at. without him.
You know what I think about Brown?
What?
He's like,
Paul George, he about to say it.
except he's got more of a mentality. He wants it to. I think he wants it to be him. I think he's more like Spider, right? He's more like Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Jimmy Butler.
They've got the mentality that they want to be it.
Yeah.
But to me, if that's your best player,
Then you're not going.
they're only going to go so far. Now,
And I
he
think
plays
the
great.
I think the fan base with that
Mhm.
has already picked Jason Tatum
They could swing
as
off of
as
it
the
real
golden
quick.
boy. Yeah, they
That's the
could.
golden boy.
Right.
Boston,
That's the golden
I
boy.
mean, Boston can swing off. I mean, but that's all who you put out front. I mean, Tatum was picked as the golden boy, the go-to.
Because I mean,
Boston.
in what you were just explaining, what separates the two? What separates Brown from Tatum from being the face?
I think number one, I can't, I don't watch a whole lot of NBA press conferences. I can't, in my head, tell you what Jaylen Brown sounds like. Like I don't remember him
Talking.
in interviews. I don't remember him in commercials. Tatum, at least I've heard him do interviews. There's nothing exciting, trust me. I remember him from
Right.
Duke.
Mhm.
He got his own shoe. Brown don't got his own shoe yet.
Just
I mean,
part of that's part of that's marketing. Who are they
Yeah.
pushing?
Who you
They're
pushing?
clearly pushing Tatum.
Tatum.
Brown might be like, I'm gonna take that
Yeah, it's
and
my
I'm gonna
time.
show
Yeah,
you
not only
that this
my
is
time,
my
it's my
team.
But
Yeah.
see, I don't see. There we
Yeah.
go. What is it? That mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's that to me. That's the difference. But of course, that's the difference between those two. Because again, when I watched the series last year, Brown, like I said, after they knew they were going to lose, Brown was the only person putting up any fight. Everybody else is just like, okay, right now when we move into this year, he comes in with that mindset, because the rest of y'all wasn't doing nothing.
But I also think it was his way of bouncing back from the scrutiny that he got.
Yeah.
From he can't go
Can't
left.
go left.
But
Yeah.
see, but
Now he's like, I'm gonna prove.
Yeah.
And what do you do, right? What did Jordan do?
Oh, you come back and you
Because
control
but
it.
see, but that's the whole thing, right? That's that mentality of Kobe, Jordan, and all those guys who quote unquote were great
Yeah.
athletes, great NBA players. Oh, I can't shoot a jump shot. I'm gonna shoot 60 trillion jump shots. And I'm gonna come back and you're gonna let me shoot the jump shot. Then when you come at me, I'm gonna go left and I'm gonna do what but that's how you get better.
Yeah.
You can't get better without any
Yeah.
criticism.
And when you get moments like when he hit the corner three
Yeah.
Yeah.
the other night, like that's just stuff that he puts on his resume.
Exactly.
Like,
This
I-
is why I'm the guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ball
so,
in my hands.
yeah.
Yeah, think about it. But that's what you have to do. I mean, because if you're again, all these guys, not to take anything from any one of them, they are A1 athletes at what they do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I not off topic, but I listened to a gentleman say he always thought somebody was just garbage until he came to the free run, open run in LA, and my man didn't miss a shot. He was just like, bruh, he said, bruh,
Different.
this is different.
Yeah.
He said, when the ball was going through the net, all you heard was swish. And he would be like, yeah, because this muscle memory for them. This is
Yeah.
what they do. So when we get all these guys together and they all athletes, they all play together, yeah, somebody has to take the lead.
Yeah.
Somebody, and then I don't know, like I said, I haven't seen that moment from Tatum in a playoff situation. Every time I've seen him when the game's on the line, he's got this look on.
I've only kind of seen it.
He's
I've seen it earlier
exactly.
as of more recent.
In the finals
When they played against the Cavs when
last
Brown was there, he was going at Braun.
Yeah. And
But he was younger too.
That's what I'm saying. He was young. I
was
seen it
young,
early at a young
early.
stage, and
But
that may be the curse of the gift that he has. He
Maybe.
started off well at an early age.
That might
it's
be
not
both.
like he's playing. It's not like he's playing.
He's not
Hey,
playing.
yeah, he's
garbage.
not.
He's not playing garbage,
know, But just in the biggest moment
Yeah.
in the finals,
Yeah.
it just didn't look like. Now again, I don't know what his stats were, but
Yeah.
it just didn't look. It looked like something was missing.
No,
yeah, it looked like
Right.
something was off to me. Like I said again, you look at him, and again, if we read people's body languages all the time, the slumped shoulders, this, dude, if I'm losing, I'm getting beat, I'm mad. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm gonna have to come back and beat you. I'm sorry.
and then with the other names, I mean,
Well,
nobody's talking about Giannis.
Well, that's because he got hurt.
He got
got hurt.
and I understand that.
Giannis could very easily
He
have
easily
won the
take it.
MVP this year,
but
and then that team that they tried to construct could be in the finals. Now,
Finals,
we'll never
right.
know. Now they got to start all over again. People forget Giannis was averaging like 30 and 12.
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Giannis is still like the most unstoppable
Unstoppable.
physical force.
Without a jump shot.
Right,
Without a jump shot.
right, and he's unstoppable.
better get one.
I mean, he's better.
Yeah, he's
I'm
getting there, but
game, baby. You
He's
can't
like-
drive
he's-
the lane all the time.
He's like what Shaq. He's like, why not?
Yeah.
Been doing it for.
anybody gonna stop
Yeah,
it.
nobody can get
Because
stay in front
nobody
of me.
can. You
Yeah.
don't have anybody big enough to go out there and guard him at the
Yeah.
three.
yeah, and quick enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, So, but we've kind of forgotten about him.
Exactly.
Just like with the women, we forgot about Paige,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Because she was injured.
Yeah.
Giannis, we don't know what we'll have to wait another year
Another
to
year
see
to
see.
if him and
Definitely.
Dame work out or whatever. But, you know, Giannis, he was a guy that had real potential to be face of the league because he's got like a real likable personality,
Right.
smiles a lot. But again, he's from Greece and he's not up front on issues. He's not talking about stuff. He doesn't have a ton of commercials, you
He
know,
doesn't.
here. It's just different. I mean,
It's different because then,
we don't know if the face of the league, you know, and
It may be Bron for a while.
well, no, they got to move on. I mean, because
eventually you gotta move
I
on.
mean, eventually you have to move on. You can't have a 49-year-old dude.
But has the NBA ever moved on without
Yes.
knowing
Yes.
who they're going to put in
Yes.
place?
Well, see,
Because I mean,
They
Bron
have-
has how
okay.
many more years?
No. Okay, so think about it.
maybe
Think, okay,
five at the
when-
most,
5 the most. Okay.
and that would be stretching.
Stretch-
Think,
Stretching it,
think
that's what
about
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah, stretching. So when we go back to Jordan the most recent, right before Kobe, did we know Kobe was going to be the face of the league before Jordan?
Nope.
We did not know. Again, they pushed Harold Miner, they pushed Vince Carter,
Yep.
they pushed Shaq, they
And
pushed
Vince had it.
and Vince had it,
the
but
tools. Oh my
he had the
God.
tools, but they pushed all. Those were just 4 guys
Yep.
they pushed.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I'm
Tell you
that's
about the
just
other ones
4.
that
I ain't
really
looking at the
failed.
other ones
Yeah.
that they were trying to push, and you going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and it naturally progressed, right?
Yeah.
Because again, with like what I just said earlier, first time I saw Kobe in that championship game, he was missing jump shots from underneath the line.
Okay.
Literally, I mean, he would turn around, do it, and it would do this was the goal, and the ball would do this. And they said, "We gonna let him shoot." Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, they have moved on because you have to.
So how many names do we got? Ja.
Okay, so yeah,
Ja,
take Ja off the
and-
list.
Okay, so
Because it's
who do
not
we got
gonna-
right now currently?
So Anthony Edwards, because
And-
he's kind of getting the biggest push now.
And
I guess you got to say Luca,
Luca,
Jokic.
Jokic,
I guess you still got to say Tatum.
Tatum,
Tatum.
What's she got?
Wemby.
Up and
Is the
coming.
young guy
Up
that
and coming.
people gets all the attention
Okay,
now.
so with all these names, since you just talked about it,
Yeah.
with all these names, if you could teach a class
Hmm.
to these 5 people, 4 people, whatever the case may be,
Yep.
how do you take the throne from Bron? How do you take it?
So you're not going to take it from Bron.
You have to ascend.
Right. Bron's going to have to start descending and you're going to have to start ascending and it's going to have to happen at the right time. Because whenever they try to push somebody,
That works.
it doesn't work.
It has to happen.
Just like you were just saying.
Organic.
Organic.
Yes.
Think
Just,
about it.
if we
Okay,
had just picked, look, if we had picked 3 dudes,
Yeah.
I'm picking myself.
it wouldn't have worked.
I'm thinking myself. What's up? Think about it. Okay, think about it like this. We always talk about wrestling, the heel, and the pretty boy.
Because
I'll take it out.
none
So-
of those people have won, right? Other
Right.
than Joker.
Right. And
Yeah.
and again, Joker has no interest in being the
Right.
face
So
of
the league-
anything.
So see, think about it. Okay, we always talk about wrestling, the heel, and the pretty boy. Anybody who knows, again, we aging ourselves and dating ourselves. Andre the Giant. Who you think gonna beat Andre the Giant?
Well, back then, nobody.
Think about it. Nobody's gonna beat Andre the Giant. Right, in the interview, Hulk Hogan he said, dude, he let me win the match. He told me when we was down there, brother, he said, look, if I give you this, you better do the right thing. Right? So he knew, okay, I'm aging, I'm starting, we need to find a new face. And he said, he let me beat him. He said, yeah, because there's nowhere in the world I was gonna beat him.
Well, in that point, again,
Yeah, I'm just
hopefully,
saying, though.
hopefully I'm not spoiling it for anybody.
Yeah.
Wrestling is it's scripted out,
That's
right?
a lie from the
Um,
pits of,
so-
Hades and all the Tartarus. It's a lie, it's real.
But they had to figure out, we want Hogan to be the guy,
Mhm.
so they had to make Andre turn heel.
Yeah.
So that people would hate him because he
Yeah.
was always beloved. He was always a good guy.
Always, yep.
They always loved him. They turned him heel. Perfect. Now everybody turns against him.
Yep.
Hogan, we're gonna make him the baby face, and then getting the biggest match in history.
Yep.
Andre, help me out because I'm gonna have to body slam you, and you can't do it if you don't let me.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Bam, game over. Hogan rules the
Or-
wrestling world
Hulkamania.
for the next 20 years, right?
Yeah, so
And then it wasn't until, a fluky moment when like Stone Cold becomes it, or when The Rock,
Rock,
gets it, or
yeah,
when
Cena.
Cena
after him.
gets it.
yeah,
But
See, it's-
but they have an idea who they want it to be.
Yeah.
But if the audience doesn't buy it,
then they got to
because remember all those, we're talking about wrestling again, but
Yeah.
Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
they had put him up to be the next dude. They were making him a baby face and everybody hated him.
Yeah.
They were like, you're pushing it on us too much.
Yeah.
We don't like it. It
Yes.
only worked when he turned heel.
Mhm.
He said, forget the fans. I'm not, I'm not being their puppet.
Yeah.
Everybody hated him, and he became the face of
The
of
same thing,
wrestling.
the same thing with the NBA when they were trying to force it on us. Everybody was just
Yeah.
like,
No,
really?
not feeling it.
Like I said, if it happens organically, it's great, it's fine, but they will move on because
Yep.
again, they're going to be games. People may not watch them as much, but they're going to be games.
So out of the 4 or 5 people, what person do you think has had it happen organic, other than the Joker?
So again, none of
you know-
I mean, Luka's just been good since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just been good. Something about his personality is kind of off-putting to some people, but Luka's just been good from day one, right? So I can't say anything bad about Luka's. Giannis started off not so good,
Right.
but he's built himself up to be
Really
great.
good. Yeah.
Really same with Jokic.
I think a lot of people just underestimated Jokic due to
Well, he
the
wasn't
fit.
doing that stuff
When-
early,
when you
and he
look
got
at him-
yeah.
Yeah, that was when you look at him. Yeah.
we go.
And it took him a minute to figure it out,
Yeah.
and the team had to come around him.
And the league had to change a little
Yeah.
bit.
But Anthony Edwards has everything you want on paper. It's just now a matter of people don't push it so hard.
Let it
Like
happen.
so, like did they play tonight?
Yes, and he has to be more consistent.
So they played tonight, right? Because in these playoffs,
He been looking a little.
Okay, I'll say this, all right? When we talk about consistency, right? Okay, again, we're gonna talk about Jordan, because we talked about him earlier. All right. When Jordan wanted to be Jordan, he was Jordan. He wasn't gonna stop him. He was gonna get 40 a night, and he was gonna look like an idiot. Guarding him, right? But then when he decided to take a night off, nobody said Jordan took a night off. They just said Scotty had a good night.
yeah, but when did Jordan ever take a night off? That's
I'm
the
just saying,
thing.
but I'm just saying, no, but what I'm saying is that's the,
When he doesn't have 40.
when he doesn't have 4.
Okay.
Right? Because remember, when he first came in, he was killing it. He was almost scoring 60 points a game, right? Then he got his cast together and so on and so forth. Now, I don't have to score 40 a night. I can take not a game off because he would always play defense and he would always do things and he would get other people involved because he became his IQ went up.
Yeah.
I can't score 50 every night, right?
Yeah.
See, I kind of disagree with that with Jordan
No, but-
because he never had the mentality. See, that's
But he was winning.
a LeBron mentality.
Mhm.
I don't have to score 50 every night. Kobe and Jordan said,
trying to
"I'm
put
going to
50
score
up.
50 every night."
Yeah,
Now,
trying.
if you get yours,
That's cool.
somebody else, you
Cool.
get it, but not because I'm going to say tonight I'm going to
Think
get.
about it. He
50
did have.
assists.
Let's think about it. Scotty did have some good nights.
A good night for Scotty was scoring 25.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's because of the
25.
scheme.
But
because of
Jordan,
defensive scheme.
Jordan still had 29.
Yeah.
Like I bet you,
All right there on 30.
I bet you if you go back and look, you could count on one hand how many times Jordan wasn't the leading scorer on that team.
And we understand
understand
that it's other ways to win a game.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, Anthony Edwards does have to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Yeah,
Oh, well, he's
you
young.
can't be.
You
listen,
can't be top dog and not be
and,
consistent.
right. You can't be top dog and average
You
14.
can't be barking at
losses.
me and
Yeah.
you 3 for 14, bro.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you get a thumb up?
And,
Like, you know,
I'm sorry, you got a thumbs up. Look at it.
and see that
somebody
somebody's
agree with me.
and agreeing with these. That's what it is. We figured it out. That's what it is.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
can't be
figure out.
barking at me and
Yeah.
you 3 for 14,
Hold
bro.
on, wait a minute. We talking about that. That means he's not a super out. That's all that means.
But see,
No, believe me, there's some cats.
Yeah.
There's some cats. Be like, what you say to me?
Yeah.
Like, what you say?
but see, that's
Okay.
Yeah.
What you say to me?
Yeah.
Like I said, enforcers, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different. Like Draymond can tell you that.
Yeah.
Cause you
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's gonna punch you in the throat.
Yeah.
He gonna get you.
But see, that's the thing. In the playoffs, right?
Oh, excuse me.
They were hyping up and
Mhm.
in those first 2
Games,
games when
yeah.
they beat the Nuggets,
Mhm.
and then everybody was saying the next day, they're the
Mhm.
he's the face of the league. Da,
Yeah.
da, da.
Yeah.
Then when they lost the next 2,
Yeah.
and he didn't play well,
It won't nothing.
nobody said that anymore.
Yeah.
Then when it looked like they weren't even going to win the series,
Oh, they
Nobody
scared.
did that
Yeah, they
shit.
scared. They don't look like they want to
yeah.
win.
So it's like
The hope is not there
you
anymore.
can't.
Yeah.
I'm just like pump your brakes a little bit. They tried to do it with Paul George when he had those good series against LeBron.
Oh yeah, when he was in Indy, right?
Pump when he was in Indy.
Here we
Pump
go.
your brakes.
No, it's happening.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're looking for that next dude. You
They
don't
have to.
want to keep giving it to LeBron. You don't want it to be,
Well, I mean, but you
but you gotta let it happen.
gotta let it happen. I mean, think about it organically. you have to let it happen organically because the following grows, everybody likes it, and it doesn't feel like it's being pushed on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, it may not be any of the guys we've even mentioned. It might be some cat we ain't never heard of.
It might be a dude that's not even in the league yet.
Yeah.
It might be the next, the
Yeah.
next run. Shoot, it might be. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say who I was gonna say.
Maybe Jaylen Brown.
He plays for the wrong schools and
Wrong.
college.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think Ant wants it. I think Ant has all the stuff you want on the outside.
Mhm.
The media loves him. They're pushing it. Really, it's whether he can live up to it
So, yeah.
and whether he doesn't do anything to bring himself down, right?
Mhm.
He can't get in any trouble. He can't mess around and say the wrong thing. Like people are roasting him because he called out Kyrie.
Yeah. Like,
And he's like, I got Kyrie. And then Kyrie cooked him.
Yeah.
So
sure?
that's a bad year.
You sure?
Like you're gonna have to
But you gotta bounce back from
Yeah,
it. You have to bounce
exactly.
back from it. But I will say, this may sound kind of weird. It shouldn't sound weird though. With Ant being the face, he's gonna need support from Cat.
100%.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how it works. But also you have to remember this.
But Cat's gonna have to understand his place because it used to be your franchise, bro.
It was his, I would argue it was his franchise up until last year.
That's what I'm saying. So
And so Cat could say, look,
we talked about the ego.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
no, that's exactly it. Somebody's got to be Batman, somebody's got to be Robin. Just like with with Dallas, I'll be the first one to admit I did not think Kyrie and Luka was going to work.
Yeah.
I was like, you got two dudes. Neither one
Need the
wants to
ball,
play
yeah.
defense. Both of them need the ball, and they don't want to. And neither one of them really wants to get anybody else involved.
Mhm.
I didn't see it working. Well, I was wrong
Well, no,
because this year they have figured it out. These playoffs, they are playing defense. Both of them, they're playing defense.
Yeah, they're playing defense.
But they're playing defense. They're getting other people involved. PJ Washington has stepped up as the third guy. Some games it's been, Kyrie cooking at the beginning, and then he only scores 4 points in the second half.
Luka's
Luka
turn.
takes over. Other ways, it's like they're playing off each other
Yeah.
now.
Lively's been good for them as well.
Yes. So you got Batman and Robin, because I think clearly Luka is Batman and Kyrie is Robin.
But he's always been a good Robin.
He's been a
On
great
that
Robin.
team, guys, like
No, so
if you understand who, you understand what we're saying.
yeah, so again, I think it's also a level of maturity too, and the fact that you have to say, okay, I am Robin, and I have to embrace my role because I can be
But
Robin.
also, where am I in my career?
Yeah, see, again, I was about to get to that. So the maturity level.
Yep.
In his younger years,
No
he
way.
ain't trying to get that.
Yeah, no
I
way.
mean, no, you're not. I mean, because I watched them play. I'm like, bro, dish the ball. You got dudes standing right here.
I got Mamba mentality.
Yeah, I'm taking this. I don't care if I got 5 people guard me. I'm taking it to the hole.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you might want to shoot that jump shot in the corner. Just saying.
Yeah.
But exactly,
know,
that's exactly right. The maturity.
The maturity level. I mean, so and again, that kind of goes back to you said Carl, Cat,
Yeah.
and Ant, right? If they're pushing this and you've been there again, we talked about this earlier. Hey, dude, I've been here 5 years, yo. What you mean you're just gonna give it to him?
But you got, as Cat, you got to know how to support Ant
That's what I'm just saying. You got
to push him even more.
But not only that, check this out. So that's a small market, right? When is the face of the face of the NBA ever been in a small market?
Well, LeBron was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there long.
He was there for 7 years.
Yeah, long enough.
Now, had they won, he would have stayed, I think.
He was there 7 years. Then he went to Miami, way bigger. Then he
went
came back to Cleveland. Then he went to LA. So probably LeBron's probably the only one, really.
The only one, but everybody else has been in a major market.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now this
That flops.
it's a little different now because of the way
Well,
social media is.
It had he wanted it, KD, had he wanted it. Okay, so he's small.
what?
Yeah, nah.
Who? Huh?
KD,
What?
I'm just saying
Say
that
who?
market's small.
Yeah, but he got out of there.
Who?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
Hold up,
did.
wait a minute. I gotta start texting somebody because I'm mad.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is, yeah, and he's gonna be mad. He's probably watching this and he's gonna start jumping
We
on.
like
Yeah.
it. We
Um,
like KD, bro.
But
I love you, but
his game says face of the league, best player. Everything else says
he just won't play
just
down.
In the
best
shadows,
player.
yeah.
He just wants
He's
to
a dude who wants to hoop.
He just wants to
Kawhi Leonard,
Same
guy
thing.
wants to hoop.
That's it.
Paul George really wants to be Robin. He's good at Robin, not so good at Batman.
Mhm.
again, it doesn't take anything away from their talent, but you got to just realize what's going to be best for this team. Kyrie realized that what's best for this team is for me to fill it out. I'm the veteran. I'm the only person on this team with a championship. I've learned because I've matured.
Yeah.
I gotta if this game they need me to come out hard and
Set the tone.
scoring and set the tone, don't do it. If they need me to sit back, let Luka do it, then I will do that.
Say, pause.
So, so that's the way that goes, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie figured it out. Luka was always like, I knew it was my team.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
know.
like what you're talking about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it helped, and now that team is bought in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
see that's
yeah.
part of it though. I mean, like I said, because I mean, last year, you know, we had what Dallas, they didn't look so good.
They didn't.
You know, and when y'all sent me that, I
They didn't make the playoffs last year, right?
I was
They
dying with
followed
that
it.
text message talking about, oh my God, they're playing defense. You do realize it was a full moon last night.
Yo,
But no, there's like you said, like they're starting to buy in and
Yeah, yeah.
realize,
But
like,
you
bro,
have to.
we're right here.
and the role players even are like, yo, our two best players.
Derek,
we all.
what's his name? Was it Jones? Jones Jr.?
Oh, I thought you need them. Yeah, the dude with the
Yeah.
shooter. But they're like, these two dudes are now playing defense.
Yep.
So you got,
I don't have no excuse not to
Excuse
play
not to play
defense when
defense.
these dudes are
yeah, but
playing.
you have to set the example.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like I said,
And they're doing
I
it.
mean, because when Dallas was in the playoffs the year before,
Yeah, Derek Jones is it. Yep.
yeah, they wasn't playing no defense, bro. I mean, when the scores are over 200 points, ain't nobody playing no D.
Well, I think
Not like that.
Dallas has realized like we can outscore a bunch of teams in the
Yes.
regular season, but when they get to the
But in
playoffs,
playoffs,
we gotta play defense.
Yeah,
got- you
and
got to
everybody
defend.
has to do it.
Everybody has to, not
That's
just
what
one
you know.
person.
That's why, like I said,
Because you got the analysts.
They got a rim
No,
protector.
they got, yeah, the analyst is over there like this. That's all he doing, and he just watching folks. You know, on the fifth play, the center's tired,
Exactly.
so we gonna go at him on every fifth play.
hmm
You know, so you gotta play defense. And if everybody's playing hard, you can't go. You say, man, they doing what they doing, bro. We gonna have to figure out something different.
nobody wants to be a weak link when you're that close, like you said.
Yeah,
And I think now they figured it out.
Mhm.
We'll see what happens in this third game. I won't be shocked if Minnesota comes back and Ant scores 40, and
Yeah.
then everybody's gonna say, "I told you he was evasive again." Slow it down.
Chill. So
it's only done it 1 year.
with the 4 or 5 that we talked about, because out of that, only Joker has won. It'll be their first ring for everyone. Where does that look like with people's legacies? The start of it.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, like I said, well, I mean, again, we can't talk legacy till you've actually done something. I don't think legacy's built in a year, 2 years, or just because you won a championship. Because there's a lot of cats running around with rings in the NBA and all different, and you don't even know their names.
You're right.
So, you know, so when you talk about legacy, it's about, again, we always talk about consistency, right? Can you consistently be here, right? I won 1 ring last year. That's nice. When you become the man, guess what happens? Everybody wants what comes gunning for you.
The expectation is gonna be there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, not only the expectation starts to go up, what else starts to happen?
the pressure.
The pressure goes
Yeah.
up. Now my eyeballs start doing this.
Yeah.
You know, what part of your legacy when you anybody can do it one time.
Yeah.
Can you do it more than
More
one
than
time?
one.
But now that's when you get to like all-time greatness,
Yeah.
right? When people start counting rings.
Mhm.
But I'll give you an example, like Dirk,
Mhm.
right? Dirk was one of the greatest scorers ever,
Right.
but he got the ring that elevates his legacy
Mhm.
because he has it. Barkley don't have one, Malone don't have one, Garnett don't have. Well, he does have one.
You
but-
got one.
but,
Yeah,
uh,
the Celtics.
Got two.
But they ain't had one for a while.
but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, long.
So sometimes one is all you need
What
if you've got the other stuff.
Right.
Now, if you know Jokic has all the MVPs, he got a championship. So if he stopped now, that's going to elevate him above Embiid. It's going to develop, So if Luka can get one, it's really going to do something for his legacy. Again, the pressure's going to be,
That's why.
and you keep doing it,
Yeah, but see, but kids, so that's my thing.
and then it also elevates Kyrie because now he's like, okay, I got one without LeBron, and now I got one with LeBron.
And then with the Celtics, they like we talked about, they always there, but they not
But see, that's the thing though.
pushing
Right?
themselves
See,
over there.
That's the thing though.
over
You
the
have
top.
See, okay, in that example, when you're always there, you're always you're just like it's like a spotlight. You're just outside the spotlight. So people know who you are. So when you get that, now all the things you've done here, says, oh, he's put in all this hard work. He has this great legacy, blah. But when you just show up and you get it, then you don't get it. Then maybe you get it, then maybe, then it's just kind of like,
Rocky. But that's what I'm saying.
Rocky.
When you're Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is on the same team and you both get the one at the same time, and we looking at each other like, well, who finna take third? Who
Well,
finna be
see, well,
Batman?
then
Who finna be Robin?
That's well. See, when you talk about those two guys, you know, my only question is, what do they do if they don't win? I mean, because they've been there.
That's a good point.
They've been there.
And they owe me some money this year.
You've been riding with him for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, they've been there. I mean, when you talk about coming out of the East, Boston has been the predominant team
Oh, yeah.
coming out East for like the last 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
10 years.
And no takeaway from
You know,
the run, but this
Yeah,
run
I
has
mean,
been a
let's
little
think
weak for
about it.
y'all this year.
There, I mean, think about it. Okay, was it they lost to who was it? I'm trying to remember who did they lose to first.
Oh, it's been too long to.
Yeah,
they
but-
never come up with all the people they lost
No,
to.
I'm just saying. No, I mean, I'm just the Jason Tatum era with Brown.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. The Giannis, they lost to Giannis. They won the title.
They won. They lost it. They lost and I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about in the championship game. I'm not.
Oh,
talking
Curry,
Finals,
Warriors.
they only made the finals once.
Okay, so they lost.
Warriors.
They lost to the Warriors, and didn't they lose last?
And then they lost to the
Yeah.
to the Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
No, it wasn't the Nuggets. Nuggets beat the Heat.
Yeah, they beat the
Yeah,
yeah.
That was
They got beat by the Heat.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
look down.
yeah,
That was a miracle run.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining.
yeah,
I'm a Heat fan. I ain't mad. I didn't expect them to go that far.
yeah.
And then
House
to look at it, and I understand the situation is a little different. But if Ant ends up getting swept, do we give him the same grace as if the same way with Jason Tatum?
Say that again. If they get swept.
If Ant and them get swept,
Yep.
they don't even win the game.
Yep.
Do we give him the same grace that we gave Tatum
Yes.
when they lost
Because
to
he
the
get
Warriors
Yeah.
at their place?
Because it's the first time he's only 22.
Right.
Nobody expected them to be here. So this is their come up year, right? The
Next year.
Celtics, no, I mean like OKC
Yeah.
and Minnesota, nobody expected them
Nobody,
to get
yeah,
this far.
Uh-huh.
So they've already gone from here up to here. Now we're gonna see whether they can get from
The
here
bump, yeah.
like Denver did. Boston already made their
Made it,
leap.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for them to
To
get
get over it,
over
yeah.
the hump.
We
Yeah.
wait for them to do this.
Exactly. Yeah, but back to what you said about Jalen, about Tatum and Brown. The answer to that question is who's the Finals MVP? Because let's say they win it.
Yeah, you
They
talking
both-
if they get the first one?
Yeah,
straight?
they win. Let's say they win it this year, right?
Right.
They're happy. We got our first ring.
That's usually what they
But
do.
now we're gonna look at Jalen. You really played way better than him. You're the Finals MVP. And you know my scale of you only get to count rings when you're the MVP.
Yep.
So Brown, you get it. Tatum, you didn't play so well. So I'm gonna need you to keep on, you know what I'm saying? They both,
Right on.
technically, they both got a ring,
Yeah.
but when we see who got the finals MVP, who played the best, that's really who got.
And
the
I
ring.
wonder how they would do it because Tatum could possibly score more statistically, but we all know that Brown is more of the two-way player.
If he scores more, he's gonna get it. Unless it's super, super close, nobody pays attention to the other part. Unless it's way off or it's super, super close. And like when Iguodala got it.
Yeah.
Steph, that was his team.
Yeah.
He didn't play great. Iguodala didn't play great, but because they, gave him credit for playing defense, mind you, on the dude that
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
led everything, every category. Anyway,
He was their best option to
I won't
guard.
go there. So they gave it to him. Whoever leads them in scoring, probably gonna get it,
Yeah.
unless it's just way lopsided somewhere else.
Yeah. But if I'm the Celtics, surely don't want to play Dallas because Kyrie coming.
Yeah, he gonna be
Yes,
mad.
sir.
Revenge.
Back to Boston.
Because
Yeah.
Kyrie coming.
Revenge.
And Kyrie probably coming with
You gonna have to look
his artillery.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
That'll be a great story. That'll be like, so we
Yep.
love to say, that'll be a great story, and maybe we'll get the ratings up, because again, I'll be honest with you, I've watched like 4 or 5 games. Nah, but I'm being serious, for the whole playoffs, I've watched like 4 or 5 games, because
I feel sorry for Indy. Y'all had it last night, lost it.
Well, they had the first one. Oh, yeah, they getting swept now.
they get
Yeah,
down.
Tyrese not coming back. Sorry.
Yeah, but even the NBA, when we talked about the WNBA,
Yep.
about storylines.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
Think about all the years when you just knew the two best teams are Golden State
Okay.
and Cleveland.
Yeah.
And for all those years, number one, LeBron went 10 years in a row with somebody.
Mhm.
But you knew it was going to be Cleveland at the beginning of the season. You knew it was going to be Cleveland
Mhm.
versus
Yeah,
Golden State.
yeah.
But they still had enough storylines to keep it going. Now, towards the end, people were getting tired of it,
Yeah.
but not to the extent where they didn't watch.
Because
Because
they
it
were
was
still playing good basketball.
and it was still Steph versus LeBron, Draymond versus, it was like,
Whatever.
da.
Brown guarding KD.
Yeah.
Exactly. There still was enough storylines to keep it going.
Yeah.
Now
We don't really have that.
we don't have. I mean, see, you don't. I mean,
There's no rival. There's no, Denver doesn't have an arch enemy. Dallas was already out, so we don't even have. Denver is already out, so we don't even have a rematch possibility. It's
And then
that's
honestly,
because they train with each other all the time. They buddy.
outside of the Indy and New York Knicks series,
I watched it, and those were two of the games that I watched because what? I watched it because of Brunson and what's the other kid's name?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Partly him, but there was another kid.
for which team?
For
The white guy,
no, yeah, him.
TJ McConnell.
Not McConnell, the other guy, Devin
Oh,
Chin.
Oh.
Divincenzo.
You talking about the Knicks? The
Villanova guy.
Villanova
guy.
3. Yeah.
Villanova 3. So that was a story. I was like, oh, who are the Villanova 3? Let me go ahead and watch it and see what's going on.
But
Right.
with that, outside of Indy and the New York Knicks,
Well, the
in the
story-
playoffs, if y'all can tell me, maybe I'm wrong. When has there been head-to-head matchups with point guards? There hasn't been that. It's been like if we go back to what you were saying, you had Kyrie, Steph. I mean, we had Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton to see which one's better out of that. We don't have that
they didn't
anymore.
guard each other.
Yeah, they didn't. But all we talk about are the
Well,
wings.
see, okay, yeah, that's all we talk about because that's where the game is gone, right?
Like there's no
I mean,
other matchups.
I mean, also when you talk about matchup, when you go back, right? Again, I'm turning back on the Wayback Machine. Keep me straight. When it was basically they played man to man and everybody matched up. There was no zone. There wasn't. When you switched because he said a heck of a screen and I couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that was my dude.
Yeah.
So now it's not so much that. It's about
Matchups.
And you and anybody who and to get in today's game, you better go with the dude who's the weakest
Weakest link. Yep.
because if not, then you stupid. I'm not going to be Halliburton trying to guard freaking Brunson. That's too much work because I'm gonna be tired at the end of every game.
But I
He gonna
think
work
it starts and it pushes the stories.
Well, it pushes the story, but then people got to be interested. Two guards going at it, they ain't going to drive the
Well,
story.
especially Halliburton. Nobody cares about
Yeah,
Halliburton.
I'm just saying.
He's young. He's good. We know who he is.
Yeah, but
Grandma don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, she don't. I mean,
Brunson.
Brunson
He's
gonna-
good.
he's gonna put up.
We know who he is.
He's gonna put up.
Grandma don't know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not going to drive the story. I mean, it's a nice storyline, but it's not going to drive the story.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that regardless who makes the finals, this is gonna be a fairly
Look at that rating, 'cause,
low rated,
I mean, you can always
low rated NBA.
you can always tell when the
playoffs.
ratings are going to be low because nobody's watching the games, and that's the truth. I mean, normally.
Why do you think nobody's watching? Because we get new teams. It's not the same.
No, I'm saying because there's not the story that everybody's
Okay,
like, I can't wait to
okay.
see this.
So
This
the-
is just regular basketball.
at this point.
People that love basketball are watching,
Yeah.
but it's not bringing in
The
other
other,
eyeballs.
The other
Gotcha.
eyeballs.
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's where it really,
think about
Damn
it. Let's say,
something.
and again, let's just hypothetically, if it was the Lakers, hypothetically, if LeBron and them were let's say one game away for getting to the championship, and you have Boston. Now you got that Laker Celtic
legacy,
rivalry, legacy. You got the story, so now they can go back to 1901.
and they can show old
They
clips
can
of
show
that.
old clips,
Yeah.
and they can talk about Bird. They can talk about Magic. They can talk about the dude who got drafted who died, Len Bias. They can do that. I mean, they got so many stories they can rehash.
then they're gonna start.
They-
Brian to play on the Cavs.
Then you can say, oh, then you now that's another storyline. So they got multiple storylines. In this storyline, let's say the Mavericks win. The only storyline they got
It's Kyrie and
is
Celtics.
Kyrie and the Celtics. He's coming back home to go against the Dukes.
And a lot of people don't even remember that he played for the Celtics.
I
Like,
remember he played for them.
no, I'm saying, but
Yeah, people be like,
again,
yeah.
grandma and
Don't
grandma
know that he went there
don't
and
care.
played there.
Yeah.
No, 'cause, but, you're not going to see a bunch of cats up in the bar. Think, okay, let's say the Timberwolves win. Now you pushing Ant and
You're
Cat.
just pushing ants.
But
out.
but
Pushing Ant and
and
Cat.
and you're really not gonna have anybody watching
Yeah,
because the Timberwolves, like small market,
small market.
most people don't know who Ant is
Is.
yet. They don't know who Cat is. They don't know the thing.
And it's
Right.
like with that team, and I love how they are appreciating everybody on the team.
Mhm.
But you're showing too much love to everybody. You're showing
I
too
mean,
much.
that's
You
just
show
What you mean?
media.
so
You liking everybody.
yeah, it's like okay,
They need
we're
to-
giving praise to Nas Reed this day, then we give praise to Ant-Man on this day, then we give praise
You
to
talking about the media?
yes, yeah, the media.
I
Then we give
mean,
praise to Cat on this day, then it's
That's what they gonna do.
Gobert like
they've always done that though. It's just a matter of because there's not the one dude that's stepping up.
that's what I'm
When somebody gets hurt and then Nas or when Gobert took a
then
game off,
yeah.
Nas Reed stepped
Stepped
up.
up.
You
You
gonna
talking
give
about
him,
Nas Reed,
you're gonna
right?
give him some credit, right? When Ant goes off and has a great game, and then he has a great interview, you're gonna pump him up.
Yeah.
And then if
Use, baby.
You know what I'm saying? I get that. I appreciate it. But it goes back to who's the alpha.
you need stars.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
stars drive the NBA,
Yeah.
and
The role players will make you win the games,
but the
but
stars is who you paying attention to.
exactly.
You
And
don't care.
you need beyond the best player star, you need superstar to really get the eyeballs. And
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
why I think this one's gonna be
Low rating.
a
I mean,
low
because
rate,
think about it.
overall low
Can you
rating.
tell me a storyline? Literally, the only storyline I paid attention to was the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Right, and again, because of Villanova 3. Now, who are the Villanova 3, right? Because it piqued my interest. So I watched 2 of those games. Then when they said something about Ant-Man, I didn't watch the game, I watched his interview.
Okay.
So I didn't watch him play. I have yet to see him play.
See, and the most exciting thing about the Indiana and New York series was Spike Lee and Reggie Miller
Yeah.
rehashing the old
see,
stuff.
and
It's more like city versus city type,
Yeah,
especially
see-
when they went against Philly.
yes,
You know, because Philly, New York, they're like,
yes.
nah, we're the better team. Nah, we're the better. Like,
But they're rehashing the old stuff, right?
Yeah,
At least you had, because Indiana
That's
is a team full of young dudes,
They-
and against New York, a team full of kids, you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But we got Spike Lee and we got Reggie Miller.
Going at it.
Remember when they hated each other and they were in the nineties? And
especially
that,
when they win a game 7.
yeah,
Especially when Reggie scored.
And then you
Points
lose.
in
You
2
lose at
seconds.
home in game 7.
yeah,
Well, that happens though.
yeah.
I mean, that happens. Like I said, but see, but those are the things. Those are storylines that we like. That work that national media promoted.
Yeah.
Like I said, right now, think about it. Okay, when I think one of the other storylines was when the Nuggets were playing. Was it the Minnesota? Right?
You're playing the Lakers
No.
last year.
Not last year. This year. This year.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Well, what's going to happen? Are the Nuggets going to make it?" And it was just kind of like, "Okay, if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't." And I'm not interested in that.
But the
story.
story that you got was the rematch,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Lakers and the Nuggets,
And they got
but
swept.
the Lakers didn't
Uh-huh.
help because they got swept,
Yeah.
right? It
No, I mean, but dude, that was going to happen. I'm sorry, I don't watch basketball, but
What? So
it was
what?
close though.
Yeah. What prediction do you have with where everybody is?
I think I got Denver. I keep saying Denver. I got Dallas winning the whole thing. And again, I'm
You got Dallas sweeping Minnesota.
nah. They're not going to.
How many games are they going?
6.
6. Because
Okay,
you
and
can't, you
then
can't have. I've never seen it
I do got the
in my-
Celtics sweeping.
in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I've never seen both teams sweep ever when we get to this
I have to go back and
level.
think
Go back. I said in my lifetime, I don't recall
because I'm trying to think.
because I know
I don't
the
remember
Bull-
either.
the
Because
Bulls-
I wouldn't be shocked if Golden State and Cleveland both swept somebody at the same time. I don't know though.
I don't know. I said I don't remember. If
Yeah.
I do, I don't remember.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, I remember the Bulls sweeping people. I mean, they. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Bulls,
my.
my goal is to be like, yeah, we're gonna beat the brakes off y'all, and we're gonna chill until everybody else.
This would be what, Mark even second?
Me a second.
Yeah, second one.
Oh,
Third
man.
time in the championship. Second time.
ring. I thought he was gonna sell the team or part of it.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he said he's gonna sell part of the team. He ain't selling all of it. All that money coming his way. But no, man, like I said, it's it's an interesting. So you got the Mavs taking it.
Interesting NBA.
Well, look at say the Mavs. Oh my God! Can you say somebody better put the fire out, Boston? See, blowing that up. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be interesting. Now, I hope Porzingis comes back.
No, he is. He is.
Because to
coming
me,
back.
I think that he could be like an X
X
factor.
Factor, yep.
Because
then you got Derek Lively,
Mm.
Daniel,
Didn't they get who they get? Some defensive
Derek
player.
White.
no, not it's Daniel Gafford, the 2 centers. Now they're gonna have to go out there and guard Porzingis.
I just don't. I think. Well, and look at what's the old man
I hope
Al Horford. He's still out
he's
there.
still out there.
He's still out there knocking down.
Yeah, like
But there's no reason, if healthy, why Boston doesn't
winning.
win the whole thing.
But
I don't know that I trust them. So I'm riding with Dallas because I think Luka is going to score 40 anytime he wants, and Kyrie is going to get 30, and the role players are going to get theirs, and I trust them in crunch time more than I trust Boston.
So question right quick, and this is me thinking right quick. I understand schemes, you can win the game different ways. Why is it that, because we know NBA players can score in a crazy amount, right? Luka's always gonna get you to 40, like he's gonna. But then we talk about KD, the NBA's best assassin, but then you're like, well, why can't you get 40, bro? Every night.
Yeah, but he kind of does get 40 every night, but the rest of his team doesn't help him out. Or he gets 40 and then he doesn't play any defense, or he didn't get any rebounds, or he didn't have any assists. Like
So he messes up my
scoring
parlay.
wise, I think he can get his anytime he wants.
No, he
But-
can't. He can get it anytime he
Yeah.
wants. I'm just when we look at what you finish with, sometimes it's not always the high number.
If you look at his stats, I bet you he's still
No,
average
he's
close to
definitely
30.
still up there.
But that's another
But
reason
he
why
has
I think something
It's
is a little bit under,
But for him,
all time great.
oh, yeah, we jump with him.
Yeah.
But not like I said for them, I mean, it's gonna be. Like I said, I'm not talking about KD. I've already said what I said about him. He just, I mean, he's a great basketball player.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
He
though,
just
KD.
got some underlying personal whatever is that I'd be like, what?
If you're Dallas and you win it this year, what do you do with Kyrie? Do you sign him?
Heck
Do
yeah.
you extend him?
Heck yeah.
Well, you extend them, but then I don't expect them to be great.
I didn't expect him to be great this year.
Yeah.
If,
I mean, I
if
just
you
don't-
win it, it's a bonus. It's
Well, it's a bonus, and it's
gravy.
great, but you know,
You're gonna never. You got it.
he's gonna get
Would
paid.
I say them? You bring that team back? Are they gonna go again? No.
No, they're not going back. That's what I'm saying. They're not going back. And I think this is just me projecting. I think the fact that the Nuggets lost and the way they lost is going to put a bitter taste in their mouth, which is a good thing that shows just because you won it last year don't mean you're going back.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work. So I think that'll spark them to do better.
And honestly, I think the Nuggets are gonna look restructured as a team.
I was gonna
this year,
say because you got to think about it, the Nuggets are old.
they didn't have another score.
They got. I mean, well, not old, but they got
Old in basketball.
they got
KCP,
KCP.
he
He's old. You got Porter, who's kind of inconsistent in the big
And he
games.
battled injuries.
He's not old, but he's inconsistent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see them having some
Aaron Gordon, I mean,
shakeups.
he's your dunk guy.
Yeah, and he's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they're going to do something. Like I said, I
You
mean,
want to
this
play a long career, you gotta have you gotta have a jump shot and you gotta implement your jump shot.
you better, you got to have a jump shot. You can't draft all the time.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna look different though.
You go be tough.
But I think this year showed that, not saying that they can't score the other players around him, but Jamal's gonna need some help on the perimeter aspect of I don't want to bring up the ball. I don't want to always have to initiate the offense. Just somebody to relieve him of all of those duties.
Yeah, he's gonna figure it out though. Like I said, I think it'll be a good thing for them. Sometimes losing's not as bad, especially the way. I mean, it sometimes it's not. Sometimes that forces you to break some stuff up.
No, it does. It does.
Think about it. If you don't change nothing, you're gonna keep getting what you get.
yeah, but this wasn't the year for them to lose.
Yeah.
Like, they had one more. They had one more in them with this group, and I think if Jamal,
Obviously, the
I think-
stars and the moon said no.
I think if Jamal doesn't get hurt, they still win.
Yeah, and I said, well, somebody said no. So
No, yeah.
somebody
And-
said, I think you're gonna tweak your ankle.
And then
It was great.
my last little bit before we wrap it up,
Mhm.
we always talk about this.
What?
Are the Celtics gonna blow up the team or would they just fire the coach?
Who? I don't think they do either.
If they don't win it.
I don't think they do either. And unless somebody just makes like the worst, like Tatum averages 8 points, and because you've already paid Brown, you're gonna pay Tatum. You just are.
Because he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah, you just
Who's
are.
their coach? I think.
Joe
That young kid.
Mazzulla.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
well, in my
What is it?
opinion, I think if they need a scapegoat, it's gonna be the coach.
Oh yeah, it would be him,
It's gonna
but
be I mean, because okay, if you pay Brown, because you paid him last year or whatever now, and you're trying to push Tatum as the face, you ain't gonna let your face walk out the door. So he's gonna get a max contract. The only other person to look at is the coach. So if they blow it up, that's gonna be the scapegoat, because he's the what? He's the least expensive, and nobody cares.
Well, they brought in all these new pieces. I think if Porzingis
Because then
is,
they extended Drew.
see, that's what I'm saying. If they're all healthy, I think you got to run it back if you are close.
Yeah.
Because again,
Again,
I think if everybody's healthy, they win it.
okay,
Yeah.
so but then again, you know, because I mean, if I'm an executive, and I'm just gonna say, if I'm an executive of the Boston Celtics, like, dude, we've been here before.
Not with this team though.
I'm just saying, but we've been here before. Because see, people don't think like that. They don't go not with this team. They go, I've been here before.
Yeah.
Well,
No, they don't think about it. They don't when an
That-
because they an
I'm gonna-
executive.
I don't think that they do. In this case, they won't because Brad Stevens has been there. He's the
You're right. Yeah.
he's the
been
guy
there
in
the whole
charge
time.
of that.
He's like the Pat Riley.
Yeah,
He's
so I don't.
yeah.
So I'm
And that's
just
like,
like, hey,
if you, just like with Milwaukee, you didn't get a chance to see what the moves you made
pan out.
were gonna work or not. So you can't blow it up till
Yeah.
you get at least a chance to see if it worked. If
Yeah.
if Porzingis is back, because they're breezing through every other series,
Yeah,
it's gonna come down to how well they play and if all the pieces are there. You know what? I'm changing. I think Boston's gonna win it.
okay.
I
Flip.
think Boston's gonna
And
win it.
then
If they're healthy, I think Boston wins it. Dallas is in the finals, but I think Boston wins it if they're healthy.
could there be a situation where let's say the Celtics win it, Brown gets Finals MVP, right?
Yep.
But the Celtics still have the fan favorite and they gravitate
That's
towards
all.
Jason Tatum.
Yep.
No, that means
So could you still be the golden boy for the Celtics, but not be the face of the league? Could
Neither way.
Jason Tatum be the golden boy for the Celtics, but Jaylen Brown be the face of the league?
No,
No.
Jaylen Brown ain't nowhere near. Jaylen Brown is not even.
No, if he ends up taking it.
Nope. It's still not.
No,
Look,
because-
Jaylen Brown is like number 50 on this list.
No,
But
no,
he's
and
not
no,
the face of the league.
He's not the face of the league because, like I said, only time you ever hear him speak is when they do those.
He's very smart.
I know, no,
No, he's very
no,
smart.
I'm not saying
Very
he's
smart.
very smart. I said the only time you see him. Think about it. When do you see him?
Those controversial topics. That's what I said. He was very
But
smart,
no,
yeah.
yeah, so you don't see him, but again, I haven't seen him.
Jaylen Brown's not going to be the face
I
of the
haven't
league.
seen him. Like I said, he and rarely, and I said I'm not gonna say it's never gonna happen or will happen, but I have never seen what do you call it, the face of the franchise not be
The face of that, yeah, that's what I
the
asked.
face
Yeah.
of the franchise. So he's gotta be, you cannot be quote unquote the voice and not be the voice.
Yeah.
Either you are the voice or
Or you
you're
ain't.
not the
Okay.
voice.
Okay.
That doesn't happen, and that's in
Yeah.
every sport.
And I didn't know if that's ever happened because I didn't know of
I
any
don't
instances
recall
of
it
that.
happening.
But I know we
again,
talked about if the Finals MVP got to Jaylen Brown, then we could
but-
see who
but-
Batman,
but-
who
but-
Batman
but
is.
see, but
so.
you see who Batman and Robin is, but again, that doesn't dictate you being the voice.
Yeah, and it might be a one off,
One-time
right?
thing, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
when Cornbread Maxwell won a long time ago.
Yeah.
He won the MVP, but it was still Bird's team.
Yeah,
He just and James Worthy won an MVP, but it was still Magic's
Magic,
team.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying, so you can win it, but that don't mean you the voice or you the face of the franchise.
Unless Tatum just plays horrible and Jalen averages 35 and Tatum averages 11.
Eight.
Now we might have something to talk about. Now we might have something to talk about.
Look, man.
But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But yeah, like I mean, so that's I've never seen that happen in my lifetime.
Yeah, me either.
So I mean, like I said, there's a first time for everything.
Yep.
And I know the league's changing because they're looking for somebody, but you got to be the face of your franchise. Like I said, you got to be able to carry your franchise before you even carry it. I mean, think about it.
Before you carry us. the
Yeah,
league.
before you carry the league. I mean, what, you got to crawl before you can walk. Before you can run, you got to walk. You ain't doing none of them. You ain't running.
And here's one for you. Is there a time when Jalen says, I want to be traded because I want my own franchise?
That might happen. I mean,
You know I could see that
Yeah,
happening
I can see
more
that
than them blowing it up.
Yeah.
Because there's guys you could, if you're committed to Tatum being your franchise,
You can bring in a Robin.
you can send out, especially if there's any kind of like animosity or any
yeah.
kind of friction, you can trade Jaylen Brown. Lots of people would want him, lots of
Trade
franchises,
capital, baby.
and then get some stuff to help Tatum and the rest. I could see that happen.
Yeah,
So
If they don't win it, I can see that happen.
With that, I'm just throwing this out there right quick. I know Brooklyn, the owner, what is it, Joe this is something, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Just say the owner. But
Yeah, the owner of Brooklyn. He talked about how he's trying to play the long-term game with winning.
you can try.
That could end up be, if Brown wants to out, that could end up being a possibility to where he
Well,
goes.
but I can tell you right now, there's how many teams have won it? Bro, every team that he ain't on won it. Period. Facts. Think about it. Let's say, again, this is all hypothetical. Let's say, oh, he does say, I want to be out. I guarantee you, you got 31 other teams that won.
Oh yeah, there's teams will be not gonna do it now. Now there's not 31 teams that can afford it,
Afford him,
Yeah,
right?
I said,
but there's a lot of them that want
one.
it. Yeah.
Because
Yep.
believe me, if they say okay, think about it like I'm just gonna throw this out there. Let's just say he says he wants out, and they say, hey, Milwaukee says, okay, we're gonna do this deal.
We'll get you Chris Middleton for it.
Yeah, they're gonna give up some people.
They get Chris Middleton for Jalen Brown.
Like I said, they're gonna give him up. They're gonna be like, hey, you know what? You want Dame too? I'm just
Nah. We don't want Drew back.
I said Dame, not Drew. Dame.
No, I'm saying, but if you're giving away Dame, you're gonna want a point guard back.
Who drafted him?
I mean Peyton Pritchard, but
Yeah,
that ain't moving.
yeah.
down.
They gonna do something.
No, they would definitely do something.
They're gonna do something if he
Now-
says he wants to trade.
But we haven't seen what Dame's gonna do, and because again, I'm wondering if he's that dude either.
Yeah.
Because I talked about this, Portland, he didn't have any pressure. But right now, I think I'd still want to roll with Dame
I mean, you just
for
wanna see
that
how-
team.
Well, like I said,
If I had to, if I had to pick a choice
Tell me you get another coach though.
with Milwaukee,
Yes, please tell me. you get-
Doc, running back Doc, yeah, it's crazy.
You better go hire Adrian. You better go back and go apologize to Adrian.
Like I said, but man, we all number 2 in the East.
Yeah, they running it back with Doc.
Oh my God.
They're not gonna hold the injuries against him.
Doc must have a good personality.
Everybody must love
stays
him,
with a
though.
job.
Everybody must
Doc-
love him.
Doc got some photos of people.
He might. Hey,
So-
hey, go full circle. Doc might have been running the camera at some of these Diddy parties.
No, did he?
He might be like, y'all better hire me or I'm gonna release some of this footage.
You're gonna make me cold.
No, did.
No, did he?
Hey, no, for real, though, Doc Rivers.
Yo,
he
Doc got
always
something
stays
on
with a
somebody.
job, though. He's never out with a job.
Look,
Even when he won't coach it, he was doing the analyst thing.
It's like, look, we have to protect this man. Like I said, we must
He
protect.
must be a man of many talents, bro.
Oh my God.
It's
If
crazy.
he ain't, no, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yeah, so again, we can't seem to figure out why Doc Rivers continually has a job. Like I said, we believe something is amiss. Again, we're just putting it out there in the atmosphere. Maybe wrong, maybe right. But with that, we're gonna come to the close of this episode. Like I said, three guys who came together organically to talk about sports. Again, like, share, subscribe. Again, you can leave some comments. Again, we might read them, then again, we might not. But again, we would like to, what's the word I'm looking for? We'd like to hire some of y'all for free. So please like, share, subscribe. Let's build a following. Like I said, now we want to thank my man, Love Cypher for subscribing to the channel. I think you either 19 or 20. Haven't been on the channel lately due to my doctor's improprieties. So, but with that, we gonna end the show. We got my man.
AJ.
We got
Jay,
A-Dub signing off. Y'all enjoy the weekend.
peace out.
All right.